Neo4j. It's one of the NoSQL graph database and it is highly scalable and schema free. It's the world's most popular graph database management system, right? It will we'll have a look into it one by one now. So Neo4j. So what is the abbreviation of Neo4j? It is a network exploration and optimization for Java. J is completely built on Java. It's written in Scala and Java, but most of the code is written in Java only. And more importantly, it is open source and graph and NoSQL database. So in the NoSQL databases, there are four types we discussed, right? One of the type is the graph. So we are talking about today about the graph database that is a Neo4j. Okay. And who behind this, who developed this database? Okay. Actually, there is only one company, Neo4j Incorporation, which is actually US company. And so next one is, what are the clients? Which companies are using this Neo4j? That's the question, right? So Neo4j, basically, we can say that US Army, United States of America, the Army is using this database for their IT software, whatever the IT solutions they are using it. And the next one is eBay. eBay, you know that it is one of the e-commerce website in US, most popular website. And also like Adobe. Adobe is also like using this Neo4j for their projects. Even NASA. So yeah, and also like IBM, um, and also Microsoft, and also we have like Airbnb and also Cisco. Next one, use cases. Use cases in the sense like where I can use this Neo4j graph database. Fraud detection is one of the use case we actually use in the AI, but we can use the graph database to implement this one. And we can use it into the supply chain management. And also we can use into life sciences, and we can also use it into the retail and a lot many social networking. But if you ask anybody outside, where should I use the graph database? Which is the best industry or best use case? 99% people will say answer is social networking websites, but not just only the social networking websites. We can use the graph databases, especially this Neo4j and many industries. And also we can use this graph database into the graph data science. Neo4j is having the separate library name is called the graph data science. I will show you in shortly. So what is that and all? And we can use it into the telecommunications and also even government. As I said earlier, US is also using a lot this. US government using this Neo4j graph database in their applications. And also retail, real time. Please go on mute, guys. So and also it is using into the real-time recommendations, which is one of the popular use case and financial service. Moving to the next one. What are the main features we can talk about Neo4j? The first one, it supports the unique constraints and also it is a reliable. So reliability means Neo4j provides a replication for the data safety and the reliability. And the scalability means Neo4j, you can scale the database by increasing the number of reads and writes and the volume without affecting the data integrity. And also we can increase the speed of the query processing. So that's where the scalability will come into the picture. And it is more flexible schema. When I say flexible schema means Neo4j follows the data model called graph model. The graph contains nodes and nodes are connected to each other, and nodes and relationships stores the data into the key value pairs known as the properties. So okay, and you can store the structure and structured data, but basically it shows into the very graphical structured way. We can talk about that one in shortly. And we can use this REST APIs. So when you're using this Neo4j, we can create REST APIs to connect with the Java and Scala programming. So that means it provides the REST API to be accessed by any programming languages like Java, Spring, Scala, and etc. Something like this. And also one of the best feature is here we can export this. It supports the exporting of the query data to the JSON and Excel format, basically. And also it supports the ACID. ACID means, you know, right? Neo4j supports the full ACID properties, atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. That's something we already spoken earlier. And more important, it is actually use the property graph data model. So it's one of the data structure which basically Neo4j follows, uh, especially on the implementing the graphical theory. Okay, so Neo4j supports the property graph data model. Okay, internally. These are the four things, guys. These are the totally 8 features which I listed, but there are few more also there. But I will talk those things into the next slides. Okay, more about Neo4j you can see here, and one by one we'll discuss. First one, it is a schema free. There is no schema kind of concept here. There is no, because 99% NoSQL databases will not use a schema, right? And in the Neo4j, we use the separate query language name is called this Cypher. Okay, Cypher query language. So that is, if you, in the previous session in yesterday, I spoke about something called Cassandra query language. That is a CQL, right? But here I'm talking about the Cypher query language. Maybe in future we use the different NoSQL database, different languages will be there. But this Cypher query language is almost all similar to the structural query language that is called SQL, right? And the Neo4j is the it follows the, I mean, basically it is a very fast execution compared to relational databases. It is so much fast execution and no joins, especially in the Neo4j. We don't use joins here. But how the relationships works, I'll speak. I will show you the code also practically, how the joins can be made within the Neo4j. No joins, there is a separate query language is called the SQL, and it is so faster than the other relational databases, and there is no schema free or NoSQL database. Okay, and the next one is Neo4j products, which is very important slide, guys. So you can look at here, there are totally 6 products are there. Right now I'm showing the 3 products. The first one is the Neo4j DB server, and Neo4j DB server and Neo4j Aura server. Totally there are 3 servers are there. Okay, if you want to, please go on mute. Okay, so if you want to work on this Neo4j, there is the 3 products are available. One is the, okay, these 3 are the servers only, but what is the difference? The first one is community edition, which you can download in your local computer and you can work on it, which is completely for the developers only. And the Neo4j DB server, it is enterprise edition. This is for the companies and where they are using the big projects and all, we can use it. And Neo4j Aura, which is clouds database. If you want to use this Neo4j in the cloud, we can use the cloud services. That separate name is called the Aura, right? So Neo4j DB server enterprise edition, community edition. Community edition is always free. Okay. If you want to work in your local, better you can download this Neo4j DB server community edition. I will show you in shortly how to download it, how to make sure that server is up and running, how to create graphs inside that. I will show you everything. Okay. And next one is, there is another 3 products are there from the Neo4j, and these 3 are also important. And one product name is called the Neo4j DB desktop. If you want GUI, graphical user interface database, if you want to do it from creating the graphs and everything from the GUI, that there is something called the Neo4j DB desktop. And if you want to something visualization tool, Neo4j is also giving one tool name is called the Bloom. It is a data visualization tool, and which is I can show you something with respect to this Bloom also. And the last one is the graph data science library. If you're something is working on the using this graph, especially on the data science projects, we have separate library name is called the graph data science library. We can use it. So what I mean to say that Neo4j Bloom is for the graph visualization, and graph data science library is for the data science, and the Neo4j DB desktop is for the like completely like creating the graphs by from the Windows, from the GUI itself. It is available for the Windows and Mac as well. So do you have any questions before moving to the second slide? Any questions, guys, from anyone? Okay, no questions. Let me move on to the next one. Now, what is the current stable version of this Neo 4J? And 12 days back, January 7, 2021, the Neo 4J was released on the 4.2.2, which is the latest version. And even I also installed the same version in my local. But you should remember, when you are working on this Neo 4J in your local, you must install Java version, and that too Java 11, right? Because Java 11 is the latest, most preferred version in the Java world, right? So yesterday we spoke about Cassandra. Cassandra uses the JDK 8, but this one uses the JDK 11. So it is needed, guys, to run the this, especially this Neo 4J in your local computer. You must download the JDK 11. Then only this works. Otherwise, the server won't up and running, because Neo4j is actually built on the Java programming. Okay, so moving to the next slide. So what is the query language we use in this Neo4j graph databases? We use something called SQL. It is called, we can say that Cypher query language. And this language is nothing but graph query language that allows the expressive and efficient data querying in the property graph. As I told you, right, we actually use your property graph model. Basically, we have the properties. There is a name and value, and when you use the graph. And the Cypher is based on the property graph model, which organizes the data into the nodes and edges. When I say edges, means edges are nothing but relationships. Okay, so nodes are nothing but you can relate it, this information with respect to the database management system. And in the database, in the relational database management system, we have something called tables, and each table having the relationship, like one-to-one relationship, many-to-many relationship, something like foreign key relationship, something like that is there, right? In similarly, here also, we have the relationships, but we use the edges concept. Okay, there is a nodes and edges. Nodes are nothing but like a tables, kind of a tables, and edges are like a relationships between that. And also there is something called properties. Properties we have like key and value pair, and that's something I will show you that practically how to create nodes, edges, and as well as the properties. And there are very common words we use in this SQL. There is no select statement here. We actually use the statement name is called the match, where, return, and create, merge, and delete. If you want to create a node, you can use the create node. If you want to merge two nodes, you can use merge command, delete. Match is nothing but like select query. Okay, if you want to get that information from the database, we actually use the match query. I will show you that one, how it works. Okay, and comes to that cloud deployments. What if is that Neo4j is available for the different cloud environments? Answer is yes. We can use this Neo4j in the virtual environments if you want to host it, and Amazon AWS. We can also use it in the Amazon AWS and the Google Cloud and Microsoft Azure. So what I mean to say that we can use this Neo4j, the database, we can host into the our own dedicated virtual environments in our space, and AWS and cloud and Microsoft Azure as well. And Neo4j data model, which is the only thing you should know it technical perspective. Basically, like what are the key concepts are there in this data model? In the sense, we have nodes, edges, and properties. These three concepts. If you know very well about this, we can go and create nodes, edges, and properties in the database itself, right? So nodes are nothing but kind of, for example, one entity information. Nodes are entities actually, and we can create a single node, multiple nodes, and we can create a nodes with the labels. We can provide the name for it, and we can create a nodes with the properties. So there is multiple options are there. We can various ways we can create a nodes, and commands are very easy, super easy, not a really big deal. And we can create a relationship also between the nodes. That is a unidirectional and bidirectional, and I will talk about that. What is that relationships basically with respect to unidirectional and bidirectional? The property is always like key value pair. You can pass the key and get the value also. So when you want to retrieve the information from the database, the concept is like this. Okay, nodes, edges, and properties. So, okay, so that's little different. So you can see it here. And coming to the point, what are the operating systems basically it supports? Okay, we can use Neo4j in the Linux, and we can use it in Windows and also in the Mac. That's called Unix based systems. So Linux, Windows, and Mac, we can install this one in our local computers. It works very well, guys. There is no any doubt. And you guys, I will show you that how to install it. What is the prerequisites to work on this Neo4j and to install the software? And that is the JVM level. You can see on my system, when I am trying to get this, trying to run this Neo4j in my local, it said that unable to find any JVMs matching version 11. So you can understand that I am giving the proof here. It is a screenshot. If you want to work on the Neo4j 4.2.2, it is the latest version to be in your local computer. And basically it is asking, like, it is trying to find the Java virtual machine, especially 11. It's clearly mentioned the 11. Then after installing this one, so for example, if you are the Mac user, then you can install the brew install that's OpenJDK at 11. Automatically it will be installed in our local. If you are Windows user, you can go to the Oracle website and download the JDK 11 from their website after sign up, and you can install the .exe file in your local computer. Then you assign the path to the environment variables. Then you can try this. This works very well. But even I tried this one first time, it did not work. I restarted my system, then this the path is got updated, then I'm able to work on this one, basically Neo4j. Okay, so remember, this is very important point when you are working on the latest version. So moving to the next one, how to start the Neo4j server in my local computer, like a community server. How to start the Neo4j community server. So you can see here, basically we can start this Neo4j server. Very simple, guys. So when you are the Mac user, even your Windows user, when you install the Neo4, when you download the Neo4j, entire folder will be comes basically. Okay. So in that folder, you have to go to the bin folder. From the bin folder, you can from the terminal or command prompt, you type the command called Neo4j console. Then your server will get started here, and you'll get the last message is called started. I'll show you this one, but this is important point. That's the reason I mentioned in the slide. But the command is the Neo4j console. You may forget this one, no problem. I will show you where we can pick these commands. There is a, you have to go to their documentation. Clearly, they mention how to work on it basically. So come to the point, can I use this Neo4j with the Python? Absolutely yes. Answer is yes. We can use the Java, we can use Scala and Python or many more languages. Even Rust language, we can use Go language also we can use. I'm not sure about Rust, but Go is for sure. We can use it to connect with the Neo4j databases. And what if how can I work with this? Basically, here I mentioned the Cassandra. This presentation is not updated. So basically here Python drivers for the Neo4j. So Neo4j driver name itself is the Neo4j. And if you want to install it, the command is name is called pip3 install Neo4j in your local computer. And most important point in the next slide, I'm talking about what is the default port number for Neo4j. See, every database, we have the default port numbers. So in this consideration, we are using the 7687. Okay. So let's go into deep dive into the practical scenarios instead of talking too much on theory. I will take you to the direct website of their Neo4j, and I will show you something interesting points from their website itself. And after that, we'll move on to the uh, actual practical scenarios, because you need to download it, right? So Neo4j, I think it's opening now. You can see this Neo4j is the graph platform, the leader in the graph databases. As I told you some time back, there is a big companies are using this Neo4j. There is no any doubt on that. And so when you look at the database data, everything is designed looks like this. Okay, I will show you this one practically how it works. And we use the graph query language that's called Cyper. And also, like, these are the queries, and this query, the Cyper query is almost all. This query, if you want to convert into the SQL, and this is the query, similar query. So you are writing only 2 lines of code for the to get the data. But same data, if you want to write, there is so many joins, you need to do it. So what will happen, right? If you make so many joins and all, there is so much of the performance will get low basically. So that is the reason we actually use it. So let me go talk about the products. If you are going to, there are, I mentioned about some products here, the database, Aura Cloud Database Services, Desktop, Bloom is for the data visualization, Graph Data Science Library. This I will talk in shortly. What is this Graph Data Science Library, which is we can use it. And if you want to download this Neo4j database, and we can use Download Center, I will come back to that one. Let's talk about use cases. These are the use cases. Go and click on any use case, for example, fraud detection, and which mainly we use it into the machine learning projects and all. So look at this. There are so many white papers are there with respect to this one, how this is successfully done in the data science projects. Go and study this. But I will talk about these projects, these use cases in our data analyticals concepts. Okay. And there are so many big customers are there here. This is what we spoken in these slides, but I'm showing it. There are so many clients are there. Big clients are there using it, this one. And partner anyway, we don't want. And if you want to attend their live demos, webinars, and books, videos, blog, all this nice information is there. Just there are some live demos is also happening. Even their YouTube channel is also very good, guys. You can go and watch their videos also. Well, they explained that one. And Neo4j documentation also there. I will show you this documentation shortly. We need it. But how to download the Neo4j database? You can go to these products and click on the download center. In the download center, you will see the three options. So one is the enterprise server, another one is the community server, and last one is the Neo4j desktop. So don't download the enterprise server in your local computer. It's not recommended. Go to the download this community server, and there is a many things are there here. The future version is also there, but don't download the future version. Okay, and it's your wish if you want to expertise anything. And this 11 January 2021 is also there, but actually I downloaded this one in my local. So you can download anything. It's up to you. We can also use this Windows. For Linux and Mac people, you can use the tar file. You can download this one. You can Windows people, you can download GIF file. Okay. So once you download it, you will get the some folder. That's it. Nothing much. So if you want to download the Neo4j desktop for Mac, Linux, Windows, it is available, and you can also download this one. And this desktop is also there. And yeah, this is how it is there. And if you want to download something like Bloom, the Bloom is a separate visualization tool for the data science people. So you can also get it done. This is completely for the visualization purpose. Like if you want to visualize see why we need to visualize the data with, because already there is a graphical representation. See, don't look at the small data here. When there is a huge data, there is so many relationships are there. When you look at that, but that time this is going to be used a lot. So we can easily explore the visualization by using the Bloom. And also we have the graph data science library, which is very interesting. This one I will take separate session, guys, to as part of our data science programming. I will take separate session for this because I'm not going to touch at this moment, because a lot to do. There are so many things we can do with this with respect to the graph data science library. So far, I'm not touching this one because I need at least 1 hour to 1.5 hour time to show you so much of information about the graph data science. There are a lot of things to explore it basically. Okay. Now, most important thing is Neo4j documentation. You should follow the documentation because it is very easy, guys. And in the documentation, we have the database related information, cyber language drivers and APIs. Okay, it's something like this. Even we can use a lot this one into the Spring, Java Springs also we can use this one. Okay, all these PDFs you can download. Okay, or you can follow the HTML. So let me click on this HTML page, and you see this getting started with Neo4j, and it talks about how to download it and all everything. But more important thing is that if you go back to this manual, you can click on this Neo4j operations after installing it. Click on the HTML, and there is click the button called installation, and select which operating system you are using. For example, if you are using the Windows operating system, better you can go and use this, download it. But steps are very clear, guys. Once you download, extract that file, zip file, and go to the directory, and especially on the bin directory, and open that directory from the command prompt, and you enter this command. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing, guys. But before this, actually, I'm into this Neo4j home. Let me show you in my local. I actually downloaded that button. I downloaded that folder. I actually kept into this Neo4j inside the documents. You can keep it in the desktop also. It's up to you. But this is like a folder. So inside that I have a bin, certificates, configurations, data, all these things are there. Any questions? Okay, fine. So what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to open this bin from my terminal itself. You can see right now I'm into this Neo4j home. Here I'm going to run the command. So better you always follow their documentation because that is good to do it, because in the data science world we'll have so many tools, right? We don't need to remember everything. Just follow their documentation, as simple as. So in the Neo4 in this terminal, I'm just going to run this one bin slash neo4j console, right? Just going to enter. What is this command? Okay, so 1 second, guys. CD space bin is there, right? Is the bin okay? Bin slash neo4j. It should work. There is some console. Is taking that slash. Okay, yeah, it's actually I'm looking at Windows installation. I have to go to the Mac for installation. Here command is a little different because slash is different. You can see here there is a that slashes are different. Here slashes are, that is the reason I got error. But okay, fine. I'm going to enter now. Server is getting started. Previously I was looking the documentation in Windows, but right now I actually using the Mac one. Okay. So you can see the port number is 7687. But one more important point I have to mention here. This database is the browser-based database. In the sense, interface we can see from the browser itself. Okay. So right now it is started. Whenever you see the message called started, that is fine. But if you want to see this database in the, this is the way like you can see the data in the browser. So I will go to this Safari, like any browser we use. Just click on it and enter this. You will see the complete this browser. Okay, this is the browser based one. So by default, username for the Neo4 username is the Neo4j, and the password first time you can enter the password or you can enter the Neo4j. First time when you are doing it, the by default username and password is Neo4j, and don't give any database name. By default you'll take the blank one only. If you want to create it, you can also create it. So currently I'm not creating any database here. I'm just going with this authentication type. If you don't want any authentication type, you can select no authentication, but I selected the authentication here. So username is by default neo4j. But when I set up this one, after that I actually created the new password that's called admin. Here I'm entering, but when you're entering it, it's basically neo4j only. So when I click this one, automatically when it is successfully connected, then it will show that connected to the Neo4j and you are connected to the user is Neo4j. But you can create users also here. You can create new databases also. That also everything can be done. But remember guys, the connection credentials are not stored into the web browser for the security reasons. It won't store it anything. And you can see, for example, this is the command. If I, you see the colon play, you can see here at the left side neo4j dollar is there. If I go and execute this command again, one more window will come. If I want to delete the below window, you can just click the cross mark, or else you can see left side, it's a completely database information, which database you connected, that is neo4j default. And also there is some relational types are there, property keys, and all the information about your DB. Okay, and if you want to change the look and feel about this, okay, we can put the normal, we can make it auto, that will completely change it to the dark. So themes can be changed, and yeah, this is something. And initial command is always play start. For example, if I go back to this, I want to change this one to the white. Maybe you can easily visualize this one. That's why. Okay, so this is done. Now what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to click this, everything, nothing is there here. See, I actually closed the all the windows. So here is the command. You can, whatever the command you are writing, you just write it here. The colon place start, enter. So then it will be open. If you want, if you don't want this one, if you want to pin, you can pin. If you want to do it unpin, you can do it. So this is like plug and play kind of user interface from the browser itself. And if you do, if you want to close it, you can close it, not an issue. But since it is already pinned, you can't able to close it, something like this. Okay. So now you may think about this. What else I can see in this? There are so many commands also there, and we can use the commands and get this information. First thing is first, how to create a node, right? So as I told you here, there is a, we can create multiple nodes. I'm going to create a node here. For example, I'm saying that create test one. Okay. So when I go and execute this code, you will get an exception saying that syntax error. So when you're going to create a node, you have to follow the correct syntax. That's called, you can use the create inside that test one. Okay. So now I'm going to execute this code. Then this is successfully created, saying that created one node. If you want to see that code, you can see there is a created. So if you want to create multiple nodes, you can give that create, and inside this, you can mention that, okay, and test2 comma test3 comma test4. So multiple nodes I can create with at one time only by using this create command. Just you can click this one, multiple nodes will be created. But the problem is this, I'm not using the separate, I'm using the comma here, but I'm not using the parenthesis separately. So we need to follow this one. Like when you are using the multiple nodes you are creating, you have to use this separated by the comma. Okay, and go and enter this, and see this is created now. So multiple nodes are created. The first one is a single node, and next one is a multiple nodes. And again, if you want to create a if you want to see that information from the UI, okay, then we can use the command called match. Okay, match is the match match, and we can say something called all the nodes. Okay, if I go and execute this code, we'll get some exception because it is incomplete. So what it's saying that when you're using the match, it must be written, okay, or must be update. So something like this. So when you're using the match command, you see no need of writing again this code. You just click on this previously the one which you executed, or we can so try this one. Okay, when you're using this match often, you can directly type also fine. But if you click this one, automatically this will be populated. So when you're using the match, obviously we need to use the return. Now you think, what is a match? Match is nothing but selecting the data from the database. So I want all the nodes to be displayed from the data, and I'm just clicking the return in, right? If you want something like, there are so many operations are there to return it, and we can talk this one later. But time being, just think there are so many data types we have it, okay, to get the data from the database. But I'm not using anything. Okay, very simple. I created the node. I created the one node first, then I created the three nodes. Now I'm trying to execute this command and see these are the nodes. Maybe see, match is nothing but select the n nodes and return n nodes. Simple, right? Select n nodes and return n nodes. If you are not using the return, and what will happen, right? If you go and click this one, you're already getting the instruction clearly. Query cannot be concluded with the match. You must be written or update. So the information which is very, excuse me, the information which is very clear now. Okay, there is no any surprises in this case. So what we can do, right? If you want to create, right now I've created only one node and two nodes, and I want to create a node with the label. Label is something like name. We can provide it here. So what name we can do provide it here? You can say that create, and we can say something like this, and I will say that Raja colon and software engineer. Okay, so example, I'm saying this, okay, software engineer. So we can create like, no need to keep this one into the string format, nothing is required. So right now I'm creating the Raja and software engineer, and is there anything you need to do it? No, you just click on it, software engineer is done, it's created. For example, if you want to get this information specifically also we can get it, but we need to write a where clause and get this information as well. So even if, let me give some more information here. This Raja is not only software engineer, he is a person. Okay, something like that we can add it here. So say that, okay, Raja, and we can say colon, and next one is a software engineer already there. I don't want to give the software engineer again. He is a student, for example, and he is a, okay, something like this I am giving. So when we do, if we want to assign the same node with the multiple labels, so Raja is the node, software engineer is the label. Am I correct? So Raja is the node and software engineer is the label, but we can create a node without label also, right? So if you want to give multiple labels, then you can give student is one label, spelling is wrong, student, okay? Maybe is the doctor, something like this, guys, okay? And also is the person, first of all. So something like this, we can create multiple labels for the same guy, okay? So if I go and execute this code, you can see this, and this is assigned with these labels. So if you want to get the data, same command, and you can use the up arrow, and it will fetch you that previous whatever the queries you enter. Just click this one, enter, and you will get the, so maybe the software engineer is created here, and also doctor is there, and also student is there, right? The one which we created. Maybe when you look at this, this is not actually like building up the right relationships, because I'm not created the relationship so far. I created the nodes. So create a node, we can create multiple nodes, we can create a node with the label, and we can create a node with the multiple labels. Something, download the Neo4j, which is like a Python driver if you want to work on it, and just go to here and terminal. So far you are doing from the user interface, especially on the browser level from the database itself. But as a programmer, if you want to work on it, then we can first install this Neo4j driver in your local. Okay, just give this pip install, and so I'm using the two versions of Python. So pip3 install Neo4j. It's already installed in my local. That's the reason it's saying that requirement is already satisfied. And this driver is actually depending on the Python time zone, that is also installed by default from the Neo4j. Now if I want to work on it, it's very simple. You just go and copy paste this code, okay, and you can just place it here. So anyway, all these links I will provide you into the video description, or like I will share with you on the classroom. So both can be done by tomorrow. Okay. So for example, I want to test whether I am able to connect to my local database or not. It's very simple, guys. And you don't need to mention all these things. Driver. So here driver you are establishing, and queue the print statement. If the object is created, that means the driver is connected. If any issues comes, then driver, you're throwing an error. Okay, for example, my password is here admin, so I'm just giving the admin only password, and the username is the neo4j, and it is connected to the port number is 7687. Now I'm going to execute this code. We'll see. So driver is object is created. For example, if I give the wrong password, admin x, if I give and execute this code, I'll get the authentication error, because this admin x is something which is not be, I mean, this is a wrong password. Okay. And one more important thing, guys, for example, so let me execute this code, and let me execute it. Okay, so driver object, we are seeing it now. So what if my server is down? What kind of exception I can see this? Let me go to the terminal here. So if you want to stop the terminal, you can see all the messages at the backend, what you are doing with your database, it's showing up. For example, if I say control C, and that means you're stopping the server, and server is going to be stopped. So right now message is getting the stopped. But if you're trying to execute this piece of code, and you will get the, hey man, you are trying to connect with the server, but saying that service is unavailable. So Neo4j exception will come. So service is unavailable if your server is not connected. So if you want to connect the servers, we can give this /bin Neo4j console, and server will get started. Then we can execute this code. So getting starting now, it may take some time. So, but these are all community servers, but in enterprise servers, those are very fast actually. Enterprise servers and Aura is actually like a cloud server, which we can use it. Now I'm going to execute this code. You can see this object is created. You can see that object is created, right? So I'll go back to the source code of here. Yeah, you can see there is some code is added here. So let me go and copy this code and paste it here in this. So here what is happening, right? There is a two functions here. One is the add friend. If you want to add a friend, so basically we have to take the entire the query, that SQL query that's called the basically we use the SQL query in the quotes string format. This is the query we are giving here, and basically we are creating the friend here and print friend. And print friend means we always use the match and return, right? And if you see every time if you want to add a friend, that you need to pass the friend names, friend details here. Okay, for every transaction you are writing a friend. So this friend information will be called and use this command and stored into the database. And if you want to show that information to the user, you can use the print friends. The basically it is inserting the records, and this function is for the displaying the records, as simple as, right? So we use the session to be created, and when you are creating the session, and we don't need a driver.close. Do you know why? Okay, driver.close is required. Yeah, session automatically will be closed when you use the with keyword in Python, right? Now I'm going to execute this code, and yeah, so automatically whatever the informations which I inserted, this information I'm able to see it when I actually print it, because when you are fetching the details, it is showing the names here, the print of record of friend dot name. But if you want to see this data, and you can go back to the Neo4j server here, and we can get it from here itself. So if you want to run this code, and we can use this match command.